Are we even going to get Spyro 4 in 2021? If so, when? Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new Spyro 4 video. Spyro has been on my mind for a long time. I miss the purple boy and want him back just as much as everyone else. And in all honesty, I do think he's gonna be back soon. But how soon? Well, if we were to look at our handy dandy Activision pattern, it would be this year. Except that Activision pattern that I had been spouting off about for a long time, yeah, well, this is the year it was destroyed. Most of it might be irrelevant. However, there's a few things that have remained. But let's remind ourselves of these rules that the Activision pattern covered before 2020 came along and blew it to pieces. Activision's release pattern followed these rules. 1. 5 to 7 months from announcement to release on all games, including Call of Duty. 2. At least 2 games per year from Activision's IPs. One is Call of Duty, and the other is normally a family-friendly game. 3. Crash titles are announced in December, then released in June. 4. Spyro titles are announced in March-April, then released in September. 5. The 3 studios that run as lead and support developers for these titles, which are Vicarious Visions, Toys for Bob, and Beanox, never have released a game where more than one of these studios are the lead per year. With these rules to this made-up pattern, we were able to track games from Activision for years. They had followed this release pattern to a T since Skylanders started. So, over a decade. But which rules were broken this year? Almost all of them. 5 to 7 months between announcement and release? Nope. Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time got 4 months. Crash being announced in December and released in June? Yeah, he got it mixed up and was announced in June, but then came out in October. The 3 studios not getting in each other's way? Yeah, Tony Hawk would like to have a word with the orange marsupial. Vicarious Visions led Tony Hawk and Toys for Bob led Crash Bandicoot 4 in the same year. Literally every single rule, or just about every single rule, that we used to track Activision's game releases over the years was absolutely shattered by 2020. Now, many aspects of those rules being broken could definitely be because we are still in the middle of the pandemic, and that is entirely possible. But the fact that almost every single rule being broken makes me think that maybe the pattern is broken and taking a new shape. So, we had the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, then we had the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, then Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and then Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. So people are expecting to see Spyro sometime soon. But with the pattern being so broken, how can we be so sure? Can we even be certain that we will get a brand new Spyro game to begin with? Well, of course we are, unsure, and we can't 100% know unless we literally get a leak directly from Toys for Bob or have some sort of an insider leak information. But there is a key question to be asked here that could determine everything about this pattern and the release. That is, was Crash Bandicoot 4 released in October because of COVID-19, or was it intentional? This question is the key to finding out if Spyro might be coming this year. Now, I do personally believe that we will be getting a new Spyro game outside of this pattern for 2 reasons. 1, we do have some sort of a credible leak from The Gaming Revolution, who said that there is a new Spyro game in development back in March of 2020. Now, his own personal prediction was that we would probably hear of it in 2021. Then, we also had that official little piece of concept art released that featured a small cameo for Spyro 4, along with the blurb of text pointing out that little detail specifically. I even made a video talking about this. You can check it out in the card in the top right corner. So, in my opinion, Spyro is going to be coming, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Now, I also still think that we're going to see our Purple Boy in 2021, but again, how can we be so sure? How can we know? The pattern that we held to has been shattered. How can we be so sure that Spyro will be coming in 2021? And again, like I mentioned before, of course we don't know 100% if 2021 will be the year of the dragon. Now, there is one more rule about the Activision pattern that has yet to be addressed, and that is the fact that Spyro is announced between the months of March and April and then released sometime in September. Now, I know some people are going to say in the comment section, Canadian guys, Spyro Reignite came out in November. Yeah, I am aware of that, thanks. However, when the first trailer had originally come out, the original slated date was September 2018, and they obviously didn't plan on delaying the game. That's not something that you normally do. But if the game originally coming out in September and got delayed doesn't somehow prove it enough to you, the Spyro Grand Prix release for CTR came out in September, and Spyro Reignited on the Nintendo Switch came out in, guess what, September. So September is, or at least was, the month for Spyro to be released. So this is where we enter the area of mystery. This is where we ask the question again that I don't have the answer to yet. Was Crash Bandicoot 4 released in October because of COVID-19? Or was it because they want a new family-friendly title every fall and starting a new pattern? The reason this question is important to the Spyro franchise is because if Crash's pattern-breaking release date was due to COVID-19, then it is possible that Activision might be wanting to get back on track with their regular schedule and pattern that we have observed before. And now that working from home seems to have become the norm nowadays, they might get back on schedule fairly fine. If Crash coming in October was intentional in the first place, then we know that there is a new pattern starting and we have to observe it. If Crash's release date was intentional, then we might be seeing a trailer for Spyro pop up in May 2021. If it was not intentional, then we might be seeing Spyro pop up in March or April. Or they might be wanting Crash and Spyro to be releasing around the same time every year, so it might be sometime in June the trailer will pop up. Depending on the pattern that Activision will want to follow, it could be any time between March and June. Now, for all intents and purposes, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, in my opinion, should have launched earlier. I mean, Activision literally jammed 3 titles out within a 2-month span when normally they space their titles out through the year. Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time launched very closely with Call of Duty, and I don't doubt that it may have cannibalized some of their own sales, as well as Tony Hawk's remaster. It's very odd for a company to release so many games in such a short amount of time because of this fact of cannibalizing sales. Crash also was one of the last gen launches before the PS5 and Xbox Series X came out, about 1 month to be exact, and yet there was no PS5 or Xbox Series X ports on day 1. If the game was supposed to launch originally in October, I would think that Activision would have had Xbox Series X and PS5 ports ready, but they did not. So in my opinion, I think this all spells out that COVID had a large factor on the development of the game and caused the game to be internally pushed back a few months. If that were the case, then maybe they want to get back on track, because I still think the October release was not the optimal date as it clashed with Call of Duty and landed in an awkward time between console generations. So something tells me October was not the original date. But again, I may be wrong. Now, who could be developing Spyro 4? Could it be Toys for Bob again? Vicarious Visions? Maybe Beanox? Will Spyro's design get changed? What could we see come in the next game? I do not know, but I will be speculating and reporting on everything that comes out for Spyro and Spyro 4, so make sure to subscribe and stay up to date. Thank you so much to all those who not only support the channel, but myself and my family. Because of your contributions, I'm able to do this full time. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider clicking the join button or becoming a Patreon with the link in the description. I also live stream every Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and say hi. Again, thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream.